And welcome back, everybody, to the channel. It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money-taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain in YouTube entertainment today, Mr. General Zod. Tonight is a big night. We've got for you guys some cool Johnny Depp stuff, but first, I'm bringing to you exclusive behind-the-scenes knowledge. Father Zod has gathered from a direct source about a certain thing that's coming into production, and all of the info, including casting for this, and kind of a gist of what it's going to be about and everything, whole 9 yards. So it's pretty exciting. Father Zod has really been putting in some legwork, unlike the shell journalism apparatus that we have. We're actually going to be ahead of the media on this one, actually, which is
way ahead.
Not too surprising these days, because all these guys don't do any legwork. So it's going to be epic. If you guys were wondering, I wanted to address something before we get started. I pulled down last night's video. If you were looking to watch it, I pulled it down because some names of people were out there, and I didn't want to leave that up there. So FYI, when you guys jump into StreamYard, make sure you change your name on the bottom, and us as content creators will make sure we keep an eye on that, because last night was crazy. So the screens are small and I can't see if people go on with their names, but out of respect for the person, I took the video right down, and I didn't leave their information up there. That's why you won't be able to see last night's video. And with that being said, let's get started. Welcome, everybody. 22 people watching today. What is the first topic we got, Mr. Father Zod?
Okay, if you could pull up that little video right now. It's not a video. It's actually just pull that up.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the people here. If you know an actor named Hoon Lee, he played Job on Banshee. Whoever knows that series, Banshee. I have been talking to him online, the actor, Hoon Lee, and he's in the series Warrior right now also. It's on Cinemax. But the other day I was talking to him, and he said, "Hey, Lee, can I call you at home?" And I was like shocked. I said, "Call me at home?" I said, "Yeah, of course you can call me at home." So he called me at the beginning of the football game between the Patriots, not the Patriots. Oops, sorry, Tom Brady. Okay. Well, he called me at the beginning. He called me at the beginning of the football game, and he talked to me for 3.5 hours on the phone. And we were having political debates, and he's a real nice guy. He respects people's opinions, and he told me that he was up in Toronto. And I asked him what he was doing up there. And this is information that nobody else has, and that he said I can tell you guys. They're shooting a series called DMZ. It's a comic, and DMZ is also, it was a book also, but the series was shot during the beginning of Corona, so then they put it off to the side. So what happened after the riots happened out at the Capitol? Hoon Lee called up the producer of the show and said, "Hey, look, I think this is a great time to go with this." And so they decided that they were going to start shooting it. So I guess they're shooting a lot of it up in Toronto. And just so you know, I just want to. This is basically it. We're going to be. Here's some of the stars in this series. Ava DuVernay.
And hold on 1 second before you get started with that. I want to give a shout out to someone, Rookie Critic. What's up, Rookie? Hopefully you recovered from yesterday.
What's up,
and happy belated birthday. Because I know you were too drunk to remember that I did tell you happy birthday. I'm glad you had fun, buddy, and I did the same thing. Godspeed. Hopefully you're still drinking water. Continue.
Yeah. Okay, so Ava DuVernay, she is going to be the star of the show. Benjamin Pratt's going to be a co-star, and from this, Hoon Lee got hired for the show too. Hoon Lee is going to play Wilson, who's the head of the Chinese triads. This series is going to be on HBO Max, and they're shooting it now, and it's going to be out in a couple months. They're shooting it quick now because they want to get it out because of the Capitol riots. And it's a series is basically based on, well, I'll just go over this. It says HBO Max has picked up DC Comics adaptations DMZ from executive producer Ava DuVernay as limited series. The 4-part series created by Westworld veteran Robert Patino stars Rosario Dawson, Benjamin Pratt. Patino will serve as a showrunner for Warner Brothers TV series and executive producer DuVernay, who directed the pilot episode. Production of the show, based on comic Brian Wood and Riccardo Pacelli, is set for next year. Actually, they're now pushing it up. They want to get it out because of the Capitol riots. And so I couldn't be more thrilled to bring this epic to the screen by my boundary push-in partners of WBTV and HBO Max, a sublime cast led by Rosario, Benjamin, and you guys heard it here, Hoon Lee. And not many people know that Hoon Lee is the other star in this. So that's pretty much very under the table type of information you're getting. That's nowhere on YouTube. I couldn't, and so DMZ is set in the near future where America is embroiled in a second civil war, which has left Manhattan as a ruined, isolated, demilitarized zone. Dawson stars as Alma Ortega, a medic who begins a harrowing journey to find her son, who was lost in New York City, evacuated at the outset of the war. Brat, Law and Order, well, he hasn't really been around much lately, but I guess he finally nailed a good part, plays the leader of a powerful gang, DMZ. The cast also includes Hoon Lee, Cinemax Warrior. That's who I had the conversation with. But the character's name is not going to be Warrior. And that's another thing you're going to hear here that nobody else, it's going to be Wilson. That is going to be the name in the series. And DMZ's unflinching story of a country torn apart resonates eerily and profoundly amid our current state of the union. Well, basically, that's what I just want to, I don't want to go any further on, but one of the conversations I had with him, I basically, and this is what I text to him on his phone. I text to him, I said, Lee, this is Lee. My last text, just want to know, I told him that my son knows a story about DMZ, and I asked him who the character he was playing. And then I also asked him, are they going to make it very to the left and make it a leftist type of program like they usually do? And he told me that he didn't know, but the series is not going to be exactly to the comic book. They're going to kind of push away from that. Because in the comic book, Hoon Lee's character dies and he becomes a martyr. So I'm guessing probably because when they have a star like him in it and he's really hot right now, maybe they just want to keep him in longer. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Okay, and Lee, if you have any questions or PB, shoot away. If you want to ask me about my conversation with him, and and he told me not to give nobody his phone number.
Well, first off,
I would hope so.
First off, this is pretty amazing, folks. I never thought doing this, and Father's Odd never thought doing this, that talking to someone who essentially is a celebrity on Twitter, they would be nice enough to give their number. It's astonishing that you've got this information. So I guess what would be something you could give us right here tonight that most of these trades and people don't know about yet, but won't spoil anything in the series? But what's something he told you that most of these magazines aren't going to have?
Well, basically that his name is Wilson. It's going to be Wilson in the series. And also that he told me that if you are a fan of the series, You got a lot of comic book fans out of there. I can tell you this: Hoon Lee, him in person in real life, he is a very big comic fan. He loves the comic books. And now, wasn't Banshee and Warrior based off comic books?
No, Banshee was its self-contained thing. Warrior was based off of Bruce Lee's script that he had done, a story he had started, and then Cinemax later drafted it into a script using his entire format. I don't know if season 3 follows because it was just enough for like 2 seasons. So I think they just expanded upon what he had already written.
And Cherry K says something really good. She says no spoilers, and she's right. I do know things, and that I gave my word to him that I wouldn't talk about. And he's the type of guy that, can you imagine this guy sitting and he just I'm pretty much, I even, as you know, I also have personal conversations with Homelander. What's his name?
Anthony
Starr.
Anthony Starr. I have personal conversations with him. I've had like about 6 or 7 of them, just me and him directly. And I've also had personal conversations. If you watch Warrior, the Irish cop with the beard, I'm working on trying to ask him to come on the show. And he's and we're going to do something big and try to get somebody here. And I already asked Hoon Lee, but Hoon Lee basically right now he's in shooting of this series, and what they're doing right now because of COVID, they are under very strict lockup, and
they're inside the NBA bubble, hey?
Well, you know what it is? They don't want anybody in the set to get sick. If you get COVID on the set, it could ruin a whole episode. It could ruin a whole series. And they've already taken his DMZ series, and because of COVID, they shut it down. So they've opened it back up now. And Bruce Lee's daughter, Shannon Lee, is a producer on The Warrior, I think. I'm not sure of that, but that's a good question. I'm going to find that out.
I believe from what I read, I can't say with 100% certainty, but I'm like 99% sure that it was brought up that yes, she is a executive producer in order to keep the integrity of the story, which I am 100% down with. I think that is awesome. And here's another interesting thing. Bruce Lee's daughter has been out of the spotlight for like years because
she doesn't want to be part of the curse.
I do not know why.
Because of the curse,
man.
The
family curse.
What curse?
Brandon Lee died a horrible death, very young, just like his father. Bruce Lee died when he was 32 years old, and Bruce 33, somewhere around there. And his death is very controversial because they said that he died of either a brain aneurysm, a Chinese mafia hit. They don't know. But back then, they just, to this day, no one really knows what Bruce Lee died of. And he was with a hooker when he died. He wasn't with his wife. He was at the hooker's apartment. And, they covered that up with Bruce Lee. So Bruce Lee was getting busy, and who knows how he died. You'll hear every story there is, but the mystery of the death of Bruce Lee.
He died the same way that Elvis died.
Sitting on the toilet?
Sure.
Oh, God.
And I don't think I've seen you here, Armella. Welcome.
And she knows Rebecca. Okay. So if you guys want to, I got something else that this is going to be a little bit sad news for fans of Warrior, but it doesn't look like it's coming back.
Oh, you know what?
And I heard this directly from whom
you got me involved in this show, and now I'm gonna have to do that little hashtag Save Warrior thing. I'm a part of too many hashtags right now. I'm saving Gina Carano. I'm getting justice for Johnny Depp. I'm hopefully locking up Amber Heard. I can't keep up with all these hashtags anymore.
It's not
I'm not-
save
and
Gina
listen,
Carano. It's
well, I'm
hashtag
not.
we love Cara Dune.
I got some bad news for you, PB.
What?
I've talked to her one-on-one
Yeah. Oh, if you guys
Why
don't
is that
know,
bad news?
because I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you, and you're in another relationship right now. So that, this ain't going to work out.
Nothing about that is bad news. That's you're taking a bad perspective. That's
You
good
know
news.
what it is? You know what it's really weird? I was never on Twitter, and what happened is I was on Facebook, and I got suspended for 30 days. I came back, and after 2 days, they suspended me for another 30 days. And I didn't say
Facebook.
yeah. And all I said is if someone's gonna get in front of my car and throw bricks at it, I'm gonna run them down. That's all I said. Yeah. And
they said, now all of you guys know when I make my statements about threatening people or running someone over with a bus that says the world is yours, you know where I get it from now.
But here's the thing. Here's what I did as a test. I wrote, if Proud Boys get in front of my car, I'm going to run them down. Facebook didn't touch me. So I can't run Antifa down, but I can run down Proud Boys. So thank you, Facebook, for helping me out there.
Oh my God.
Way to not take a side, Facebook. Way to make a stand.
No, yeah, but can you imagine you're suspended for 30 days? You're all happy to get back, and 2 days later they suspend you for 30 days again. I had no choice.
Okay.
I went to Twitter, and I started talking.
Okay.
I went to Twitter and I started talking to Anthony Starr and stuff. The next thing I know, Anthony Starr's, arguing with me about politics. If you go on my Twitter page, Lee's seen him already, right, Lee?
You mean who is this Lee you speak of?
I'm sorry. Zod. Okay.
I've heard of this Lee roaming around, and I try to keep him out of my fandom zone.
Hey, Zod,
he's a weirdo.
Zod. Okay. I'm Lee. That's Zod. But what happened is when I got a hold of Anthony Starr, the next thing he kept sending me private messages and asking me questions and stuff. And it was just kind of funny. And it's just like the next thing I know is Hoon Lee's on my personal page, and then he sends me his phone number. And then the day after Hoon Lee, Gina Carano does. Not her phone number, damn. Okay, but I didn't, but it's like, people are on Twitter and they don't have this luck, and it's like, for some reason, I'm having all this luck. So maybe I should just go after bigger stars. I'll go after Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I mean, if you do, I know a lot of happy people who would be here. I think would break the internet. Rebecca says, at Big Lee, I got suspended for telling a bad-mouthed Twitterer that I was sure their hubby died from getting a brief its terrible mouth. Gulp.
You read that. PB, can you please reread that?
Yeah, if he puts it back up on the screen.
There you go.
Rebecca says, at Big Lee, I got suspended for telling a bad mouth Twitter. What? That I was sure their hubby died from getting what? Sorry, I started laughing in the middle. It was hilarious.
A breath
from
of
getting a breath of its terrible mouth. Gulp. What the fuck is that? Holy shit.
Before we move on to our next one, is there any questions anybody wants to ask about Hoon Lee, or you can ask me anything.
Okay, you started talking to Anthony Starr. How did you start talking to Hoon Lee?
Well, actually, I mixed it up. I was talking to Hoon Lee first, and then Hoon Lee and I were having a little political debate. Then Anthony Starr jumped in and started jumping all over me. And so I said to him, I said, "What do you know? You live in a bubble." And so
he took that pretty hard.
He took it pretty hard. And then he explained to me that
does he live in the Hollywood bubble?
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
he is and then he started talking to me, and I said, "Okay, cool." And he said, "Okay." And then since then, we've been on very friendly terms. Like, he sends me pictures of his dog. So yeah. And
Homelander has a dog, and he also rides in an airplane. And we were discussing this earlier. I don't know if I would trust him.
Here's the question: would you sit next to Homelander on an airplane?
No, I can't. No. I mean, like, he's getting on this plane. I'll take. Oh, are you guys offering that $1,000 to take the next flight? I'll take that.
I'll keep looking at his eyes and saying, "Please don't have those rays come out and do what you did in the series."
I'll be like, "I know you can't carry everybody, but I feel like we have a good rapport. Can you carry one person?"
The funniest thing is, he put a video also up on his page where his dog, he has a dog, and he put mittens on all his dog's feet and a jacket, and the dog's running in snow, and it looks like he's running in a regular neighborhood, a middle-class type neighborhood in New Zealand. I'm guessing it's New Zealand because Anthony Starr is from New Zealand. And he's running up and down. But I've gotten to, the fact that he sends me pictures every once in a while, and I send him my dogs. So,
Yeah, that is amazing. And the fact that you're talking to Gina Carano too, that's awesome because I'm gonna
talk to her about PB and see what I can work out there. Between PB, as long as he can get away from Kevin Spacey, there could be.
I don't think I'll have a problem getting away from Kevin. He turns around a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna take that story down, Lee, and move on.
Okay, I already did.
Okay, 1 second, please.
So thank you, everybody who's watching. Make sure you're clicking that like button. If you know a friend who knows a friend who has another friend that is not subscribed to a villain's channel, what are they waiting for?
Jesus.
Little sick
Lee, can you pull the picture up, please? This is more breaking news. Okay.
Is that like you're trying to get Kevin Bacon subscribed to your channel? We'll just keep doing 6 degrees until you got 7 billion people subscribed?
Well, PB, have you seen the picture?
Oh my God, we broke it here, sir. Is that
we broke it here. We broke it here.
PB. PB, you lied to us. You told us you did not know Kevin. Here's the evidence, folks.
Because you were not. You were knocking me and telling me you didn't know
That golfing
Kevin
picture must have been before my back surgery.
That is a Zod exclusive, like Cherry K said. That's a Chod exclusive right there. And you have.
Oh my God!
Always going to be recorded. And right there, he looks kind of flustered on the bottom picture there, like he just had a rough night. And he's kind of holding.
I mean, you can't see. Can you see Kevin's left hand? Is that his hand right there?
Yeah.
Are you guys hand locked? I don't know. South Florida Drifter said you're effing busted, PB.
Yes. And see, this is the whole thing. PB has been using Gina Carano as a ruse. That's what I believe. It's a ruse.
Oh, I'm just up in here putting on a facade.
Yes, you're putting on a facade because you're getting a massage from Kevin. Okay? He'll be back. Okay, so I broke some exclusives on Hoon Lee. Can you break some exclusives on Kevin Spacey? Like, what does he wear? What kind of cologne does he wear? Does he smell nice?
I mean, the type of cologne he
Does he wear
uses.
all
What is it? I'm pretty sure it's no, it's Old English.
Old English? It's not Aquavelva. Okay. Okay,
No,
people.
no. He's got a little bit of class. He's got some class.
Okay,
He goes to the store and he looks at the top shelf and he looks at the bottom shelf and he goes, "I'm gonna pick one right there in the middle."
Okay.
Geekocidal tendency says, Brooke.
Brute's a cologne, Lee.
I know. I use Zod's villainy cologne. It's villain for the male
Okay,
villain.
let's get. I'm going to take
God.
this. Okay, Lee, I'm going to take that down. We broke that news. That's an exclusive. And
here we go. Big news. I promised you guys big news. Confirmed. Kevin Spacey and probably now Gina Carano love triangle. We'll keep posting this for you guys as more developments come out.
I mean, does it count as a love triangle if the love only goes one way? I don't know if she loves me. I know that I love her.
What is it? You like those big, thick legs of hers?
I mean, that's part of it, but there's just something that gets me going about watching a chick with a big ass gun mowing down evil motherfuckers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say with a big ass, but you said a big ass gun.
You take it with you either way you want.
Well, I like her. I like her because she doesn't care what anybody thinks, and she says what she wants. You know, and she doesn't care who attacks her on Twitter. She's even willing to give up parts. She made a quote yesterday, and it was based on the fact that she's supposed to be doing another role that she might not receive now because of the way she's speaking. And she basically said, "This is how I'm going to speak, and I'm not backing down. That if you believe something, you should stick with your beliefs." And if you look at who
sounds a lot like another case we're covering.
Well, yeah. If you look at Gina Carano's, if you look at her page, her Twitter page, and all you have to know is what type of person she is, look at her friends and who they are.
Yeah, 100%. And also, most importantly, too, is look at the response by people with this hashtag that they got trending. I mean, it's astonishing. It's one of those situations where we're hashtag me too, unless you don't toe the line. I really feel
we're in some tough times right now. You know, one of the things we said we're not going to do on this show is discuss politics, because right now they're looking to shut people down. So you got to be careful what you say. So
exactly.
We discuss politics.
Excuse me.
We used to discuss politics, but I could say one thing. I live in Texas right now, and the governor here has just signed a bunch of lawsuits because they're shutting down the pipeline, and they're saying, and basically, Texas is going to lose $2 billion because of an executive order. So basically, the governor signed a bunch of lawsuits today, and they're going to sue him on every one.
I know that's because the environmentalists would rather we have the ships in the ocean with the oil, and it's harder to tell when you're having leaks and spills than having the oil transported down a pipeline that is constantly monitored, and you can tell exactly when you have a leak and a spill, and you can get out there immediately and clean things up. Way to go, environmentalists.
You know how bad this is, PB? Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, is pretty much close to being a socialist. He's angry. He's angry. And Mexico's angry that they're doing this. They want the pipeline. So Canada wants the pipeline. Mexico wants the pipeline.
Yeah, there was a reason why Joe Biden's first call as president went to Canada instead of the UK, like it's been for 30 years? 40 years? I don't freaking know how long. Everybody's called the UK first for a long ass time. But Joe, he calls Canada to say, hey, guess what? We're shutting that pipeline down. Suck it, Trudeau.
Okay,
Yeah.
swinging it back here because I don't want to get too much into that.
You're right. We're going to get away. Hey.
Rebecca had a question about the series and said, can I ask what studio is doing this series? That is a great question.
I'm not sure. All I know is an HBO Max, and I don't know which studio they use, but I will find that information out.
Yeah, I mean, that is very, very, that's a very intriguing thing, and we'll get back to you on that because we just got the details of some stuff. But when it comes to studios making things, budgets, they tend to keep that under wraps because of the fact that they don't ever like to release those. And it's HBO Max, not WB. This is specifically an HBO Max exclusive thing. It has nothing to do with Warner Bros. As a matter of fact, the comic is from Vertical Comics, so it's not even
That's
from
DC. DC Comics.
That's where it gets sticky. It's an offshoot. They're their own company, but they're funded by DC money, basically. But the gist of it is they make better comics, so it'll be very interesting. I'll be tuning in to see how it comes out. It'll be interesting because it sounds like a mini series, but if it does well, I imagine they'll serialize it.
It's a short mini series. It's going to be like 5 or 6. I think it's going to be the first one's going to be 4. They're probably going to see how it does, and that's why they don't want to go by the comic book series. They're going to use the concept of the comic book series, but that's pretty much it. Okay, you want to go on to the next?
People are going to get a kick out of this. Yes, I can't wait. Let's get into the next topic, folks. What is the next topic of discussion in this blockbuster night where we found out something?
Just pop it up, Lee, and I'll start talking about it.
Okay, let's bring it on up.
Okay, just so you know, so we don't get in any trouble. This is from eHacker, who did this for YouTube, and he has a very good site. So, he has 683,000 views on this, and he has 13K subscribers. So if you want good stuff on Johnny Depp and you're not here, you should check this guy's site out. Okay,
you want to hear something hilarious? He's in our group too, the group chat that we have. So shout out eHacker.
Oh, so he doesn't mind. So he won't mind you playing this then.
No, because he's awesome and
okay.
Yeah, it should be all right. I'm sure I'll get a DM if it isn't.
And just so everybody knows, last week's show went over 1,000. So we had 1,000 people. And it's kind of funny because when we started this, what, 4 months ago? We get 30, 40. Last week's show did 1,000. So thank you to everybody. That's incredible. And that's right. And Lee did another show the same week that did 5,000. So
you did all of a sudden, show. You did another show? I didn't know about the show.
Oh, I'm sorry, Zod. Zod did. And you and PB should be proud that you're what you've accomplished. And
God.
Okay. And also, there's a website. It's www.zodsfandomzone.com. You can go there and see videos, and you can look at the store where there's T-shirts are being sold in there. And there are some people that bought some, which is thank you. And if you have any suggestions for designs, please let us know. Okay, so this right here is Joe Rogan. And as you know, Joe Rogan, he's just one of those guys, like right now he transferred over to Spotify and they threatened, all the employees there threatened to quit because Joe Rogan had on a couple people they don't like. And Joe Rogan pretty much told him, well, stick it up your ass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in that.
Matter of fact, what he did is he came on his show and he says, He says, I'm not listening to these people. He goes, these whack jobs running around. They don't want me talking. They told him because he had Alex Jones on his show twice that they did not want him at Spotify. And so he got $100 million from Spotify. And Joe Rogan says, well, I got plenty of my money. If you want to kick me out of Spotify, you go right ahead because you ain't getting back a dime. So Spotify probably fired everybody bitching because they haven't been bitching. You know, the boss came in and said Joe
they're
Rogan.
like, yeah, here's where the money went. And I pay you an hourly salary, so you can either shut the fuck up or you can get the fuck out of here.
That's pretty much how the calculation went.
And Joe Rogan is an amazing guy. Joe Rogan started out with nothing. He was a comic, and he started out with no money. He was broke, and he talked about this. And now he's worth well over $100 million personally. He has the #1 podcast in the world. And then on top of that, he also has his gig with the UFC as an announcer. And you know he gets paid big money doing that. So this guy is like, then he also does stand-up comics still. And he sells out audience. He sells out before COVID.
He's still touring or he just does it in Las Vegas?
No, he tours. He still tours.
Damn.
Yeah, and the only reason he hasn't toured in the last year is because of COVID. But he said that once everything opens back up, he's going to tour again. You know, it's just what he loves doing. And he had contracts with HBO and stuff that he couldn't fulfill because of COVID. Where and if you're a comic on HBO, you sell them out. But anyway, this is. I'll stop some periods here when we hear something we want to talk about. But this is about 4 to 5 minutes of stuff that Joe Rogan predicted about Amber Heard when this came out 4 years ago. But this is really good stuff.
And hold on,
really
4 years ago?
Huh?
Came out 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
And he predicted all of this stuff. And this is eerie. Joe Rogan, psychic confirmed. Let's continue.
Okay, here it goes. I'm going to turn it on now.
Okay, so we're going to listen to 4 minutes I clipped out of the important stuff. It's edited. It's all Joe's voice. So let's take a listen. I get chills listening to this thing. And I like Joe Rogan more and more. The more I hear about him. Here we go.
You see all this Johnny Depp shit that's going on in the news? Johnny Depp is growing. Doug Stanhope wrote an article. Well, one of two things, right? Either Johnny Depp really beat up his girlfriend, or his girlfriend is lying, saying that Johnny Depp beat him up, and Stanhope and his girlfriend saw it the whole time. That's Stanhope's version of it. I trust Stanhope. I trust him very well. I trust Stanhope about as much as anybody I know. So if he says that she was manipulating him, she had said he had was worried.
Pause for a second.
I did.
Go ahead.
So, I mean, he's just talking about the fact that he trusts Doug because he worked with him on the Man Show, right?
I didn't know that. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla moved on, they brought in Doug Stanhope and Joe Rogan.
Oh, so I didn't know that. I love when I learn from you, PB.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, that's good to know. And I guess he has and Joe Rogan is close to all these comics, and he knows who to trust because he's been working for them. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
That she was going to do this. Yeah, Johnny Depp is being blackmailed by Amber Heard. Here's how I know. Here's Colin, Doug Stanhope, rap. A bunch of people got upset at me for tweeting that. It's because you're not supposed to take a side. And if you do take a side, you have to take the woman's side because the woman's could potentially be getting abused. It's why is it that someone wants to pick a side? Is it like to show that you're a good person and you side with the woman always? Is that what it is? Like what's going on? Like why do people pretend that some people aren't manipulative? That some people are manipulative And we know that, right? We know some people are manipulative. We know some people lie. We know some people set people up. We know some people blackmail people. We know that's real. But why? How come when it's a girl, we all of a sudden go, well, I can't think that way. Yeah, I can't believe you're
Wow.
Whoa! Wait, pause it for a second.
Go, guys. Talk
and
about
I just want to say something here. Everything that he said, numerous people, including me, Entertainment Hacker, Stevie J, all of us who have been covering, we've been saying this for the past however many folks you've been watching us. And Rogan said this 4 years ago. That is crazy that he pegged that right away. That's eerie. That
I seen another. Did you ever see any of the videos where she's sitting next to Johnny Depp and she's whispering insults and you could pick them up?
Oh yeah, I've seen those. It's disgusting.
Okay, well I'm going to turn that.
Things or something. Maybe he knows something, but he definitely has a bunch of witnesses saying that Johnny Depp was worried about it before it ever happened. Just doesn't have it in him. It's not that guy. It's not like a aggressive.
Like I've never heard of Johnny.
Who has dogs in the background?
I thought me muting it answered that question.
Yeah.
They're fighting over a rope because they're a bunch of fucking pricks.
Well, tell them what you're going to ship. Tell them you're going to ship them to Vietnam if they don't shut up. Okay, here we go.
Depp hit a girl or
No, his ex-wife said it's preposterous. It's not in him. Doug Stanhope said it's not in him. Doug Stanhope's actually good friends with him. He says the guy's like, the last thing he would do is hit somebody. Just doesn't have it in him. It's not that guy. It's not like a aggressive guy. So Heard benefits from California law, which guarantees her a minimum of 1/2 of however much their combined worth increased during their 15 months together. Forbes listed Depp as the 12th richest actor 2015, a net worth of $400 million.
Looks like we'll see Pirates of the Caribbean 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Oh my God!
Somebody knows how to invest their money properly.
Depp got an estimated $61 million to appear in the $170 million Alice Through the Looking Glass, and $40 million to star in Black Mass, where he won Raves playing Boston gangster Whitey Bulger. Holy fucking shit! Oh my God, you dumb motherfucker. But when Stanhope was talking to him, he was saying that his mother, like, obviously troubled him badly when he died, but that this was as bad as that. This was like looming over him. He knew that he was going to get blackmailed. He knew that she was going after him. She had some demands.
Isn't that amazing? And this is before this all happened. He knew.
Like, I haven't heard this before, and once again, shout out to the hacker for doing this video. But wow, that is crazy. So, and it's been said in the audio tapes that came out where she had a conversation that said no one will believe you, yada yada yada. But to hear, and this is the biggest thing that upsets me about this whole thing, not on Rogan's part because he's just uncovering this as it's going, but there had to have been other people who knew about this. Why would they not come out and say anything? Baffles my mind. And I guess that all goes to, you'll be blacklisted, whatever else. But
I was going to say, it's like, who knew what and when? It's like, well, do you want to come out and say anything? Well, you got to wait until the tide turns against Harvey Weinstein to say anything. Nobody said anything until the tide turned against them. So that's what people are waiting for. You're like, you don't want to anger the Hollywood gods.
And you want to hear something? Johnny Depp has a house in south of France, and he's had the house since 2001. It's a beautiful house. It's a mansion, and he's put a lot of work into it. He's selling it right now because he needs money. He needs money for his lawyers. So he's selling the house. He just put it on the market. And this is after he's redone the whole house. So now he's selling. That was actually one of his favorite houses that he stayed at. And I was just reading this recently about this house being up for sale.
Hold on a second. PB, do you want to read this comment from South Florida Drifter? Because it's actually quite interesting.
Did you just say drifter?
Thrifter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Doug Stanhope wrote an article about it, and Amber Heard, Jesus, I thought it said tried to sue him.
Yeah.
Sue him over writing a freaking, an editorial or something, or an opinion piece, or...
Johnny Depp's been sued quite a few times. And he usually gets sued for some stupid stuff that he does. And, I love Johnny Depp, but he's one of those guys that makes mistakes that he shouldn't be making. And when you're 50 something years old and a little 20-year-old girl come walk, and believe me, Johnny Depp and I are about the same age. And when if you see a 20-year-old girl like her, a 57-year-old man doesn't belong with a 20-year-old. It just does not ever work.
Hey, don't say that to Bill Clinton.
Well, when I was 41 years old, I dated a 19-year-old girl, and I just went through a divorce, and so I said, okay, I figured I'd date her. And one day I got in her car and I looked at her music, and I said, what the hell am I doing with this? It was like, are you kidding me? Who are these people? These songs. And, it's like, and she was really attractive. And, it was just, but once I seen it, I said, no way. I just felt like stupid. At that point, I never dated anyone younger. Well, not younger, a couple years within me, but I would never do that. And Johnny Depp, he always dated people near his age. And then all of a sudden he went way out of his age. And that's failure. And he's dealing with the women of today. They're not, the women of today, it's a whole different ballgame.
We've seen it with other actresses that you look at them and you go, oh, this one appears to have a good head on their shoulders. And then they start talking about their using their movie as a social platform for change. And you realize, oh, you're like, I'm going to
start this back up. Here we go.
And unless he met him, she said she was going to go to the press. Look, man, he's an older dude. He's like 52. She's young and hot. And obviously, if Doug and Johnny Depp are telling the truth, she's manipulative. And some people are really good actors, man. They're really good at pretending they love you. And when you're a guy who's like a celebrity to the extent of Johnny Depp, he hasn't been not famous for more than 30 years. So for all that time, he's had like weird interactions with people, or he's not exactly sure where they're coming from. It's never balanced. It's always he's Johnny Depp. At the end of the day, he's Johnny Depp.
That's what I'm saying. It's a different head, bro.
But the fact that he was willing to marry her and not sign a prenup is hilarious.
Okay, so there you have it. And you know what? It looks like he's really on Johnny's side, and I can only imagine that today he's more on Johnny's side, and he must look at that clip and be like, yeah, I was right. Damn, I nailed it. And he also offered his theory on why Johnny was with Amber in the first place. Like he said, Johnny Depp is super famous. This is the thing John Lennon liked about Yoko Ono. What he said was one of the things he really liked about her was she treated him like a regular guy, not like, oh my God, you're John Lennon. So probably the same thing happened with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp because, well, she probably planned this whole thing and, she treated him like someone she wanted to basically rob, then someone she loved. However, that was like normal. He probably saw that as just her treating him like a normal person and not being so starstruck and, desperate and like, oh my God, you're Johnny Depp. And that makes sense to me. It's a theory. I don't know, but it's the first thing I heard where I'm like, yeah, I guess if that was the case, maybe in the way John Lennon fell for Yoko Ono like that, maybe Johnny fell for Amber like that. And of course, Rogan gets into the thing about how there's a double standard and how it's harder to believe that a woman can be an abuser. Much harder, actually. So that went against Johnny, but he doubted it. Because Stanhope, who a lot of people apparently trust in the business, is on Johnny's side. And I think Joe pretty much covered it all right there. He even alluded to the fact that, you know what, Johnny's worth a ton of money. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
It can't be that Amber read into that, could it? He also mentioned that even at that time, there were a lot of people backing Johnny Depp.
Yeah, so that is eerie. That people could call that happening. It really speaks to what's going on, and more importantly, how this is all falling apart for her case. Because the further we get, a great thing happened is that she's terrible on a stand and a horrendous liar.
So I have two questions, and I don't know if you two are going to be able to answer it, but I'm sure somebody in the chat will be able to answer it. What year did she, I guess, start dating Johnny Depp? Like, did they get married in the same year, or when did they get together?
About 2015. Yeah.
Okay.
In 2016, he was married to her, and it says that Depp. She claims that Depp plunged into depths of paranoia and violence after binging on drugs and alcohol. But one thing you got to, okay, Vietnam.
Yeah, I'm seeing the chat is saying that they got together in 2012.
Okay, 20. They know better than me.
But they got married in 2015.
Divorced in
Okay.
2016. That is a short-ass Hollywood marriage. Typical.
Right, she ramped up, and then fell right off the cliff. Okay, second question, which I don't know, but I know it's before. What year did the movie Heartbreakers come out? Because it really seems like she watched that movie and is like, huh, I could do this to Johnny Depp, man. I'd take all his fucking money. Have you seen that movie?
And you know what's funny? She's a pretty rich woman. You know,
was she rich at the time?
I think she was well off. You know, she was doing movies. You know, I'm sure she was well off. And she was a beautiful woman. I'm sure that, you know, she was probably a model, I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, Jennifer Love Hewitt was a beautiful woman. That's how that movie went.
Yeah. Well, here, I'm going to read something else. This is kind of funny. I was telling Lee about this. In April of 2015, Depp and his wife, Amber Heard, breached Australia's strict biosecurity laws when they failed to declare that their two Yorkshire Terriers to Australian Customs Service when they flew in by private plane, where he was working on the fifth Pirates installment. Australian quarantine regulations, which aimed at keeping rabies out of the country, require dogs from outside the country to be quarantined a minimum of 10 days. Heard was charged with 2 counts of illegally importing the dogs into the country, with 1 count of producing false documents. Shortly afterward, Agricultural Minister Barnaby Joyce, if we started letting movie stars through that, they even the sexiest man alive twice, to come into our nation, then why don't we just break the laws for everybody? It's time that Pistol and Boo, that's his dogs, buggered off back to the United States. In September 2015, when promoting his film Black Mass at a press conference, Depp joked that he killed his dogs and ate them under direct orders from some kind of sweaty, big, fat, gutted guy from Australia. So what this tells you is Amber Heard is willing to think she's above anything. She had the false documents. She lied to get her dogs in the country. That's a very serious thing. Dogs leaving one country can very easily bring diseases into other countries. That's why they got to be quarantined. So she was willing to do false documents, which means the dogs weren't even checked. before they left on the private plane to go to Australia. So it's obvious that this woman had so much power over Johnny Depp that he was willing to do this for her.
Yeah, it's interesting because Phasmagorial says that.
That's not his fucking name, but go ahead.
Just in time, PB. Thank you. Australia is investigating her for that, not Johnny. And it's true because they did say Stevie is up or down, I guess, depending on how you look at it. He's in Australia, and he said they are, in fact, the investigation is going towards her. So she's going to get dinged for that. I was explaining, here's the only thing. They'd have to, have her extradited back just to try her for that. So that would be on their government to do if they wanted to charge her with that. But yeah, she made a whole big mess of that situation, and a lot of other weird stuff came out with the dogs, as you guys know, and pooping on a bed. Jesus Christ!
And and this is another story in 2017, when all this stuff started with Depp. The people came to him and said to him, "You're not political enough. You should really go liberal, and Hollywood will forgive you for everything that's going on right now." And so he basically came out and he made a rant against Donald Trump. I thought it was actually kind of funny. And don't get me wrong, Depp controversy asked, when was the last, and here's what Johnny Depp said, when was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
Oh, that's that one. That's that one. Okay.
And that was so he didn't mean it the way it came out. So he was talking about Wilkes Booth. So they thought that he was talking about him, the actor. And so he got like about 30 guys knocking on his doors from the Secret Service. So
they're like, wait, you said what now? And I was like, how about you go talk to Madonna? She's the one who said she thinks an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
And no one said nothing.
Relax. No one's going to do anything.
But here's the thing. The next day, Depp apologized for making these remarks, saying, "It did not come out as I intended. I intended no malice. I was only trying to amuse, not to harm anybody." I mean, that is a great rebuttal to a mistake you make.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, and here's the thing that I feel. It's not just these, but it's several different things. Like, people just lash on to. He made a great statement about, he came out towards the end of the year and did this, like, end of the year message. And for some reason, I have no clue why, all of these people, the show media went after it going, what is he trying to say? And it's a message of hope, people. It's like, oh, why does he gotta bring Corona into this? Yes. So Johnny Depp makes a meaningful PSA about how he's gonna make it through these times, and he hopes all of his fans have the strength to keep on going on. But we get these idiot actors who come out and make a terrible YouTube video to Imagine, and they shoot their penthouses and like, we feel for you guys. It's okay. We know you're struggling. How do you know I'm struggling? You're in your fancy mansion with your jacuzzi off to the side. No, our struggles are not the same. I'm in a hotel right now, Gal Gadot. I'm sorry, I think you're hot, but I'm in a hotel right now, Gal Gadot. Where are you? You're in a big-ass mansion with a jacuzzi, probably not watching me rant, and that's fine, but it's so asinine and patronizing. It's ridiculous. But yet a man comes out and just says, oh, I hope you guys all feel well for the next year. Thank you for the support. I'm going to get through these tough times, and people lose their mind. And it's so ridiculous, the double standard. Done. End of my rant. Sorry.
Okay. So, it's kind of funny because another thing about Johnny Depp, he has that English accent, which is fake. I don't know what it is about American actors that do that. but a lot of them actresses and actors, for some reason, think they
I
have
don't
to
know.
have
They want to make it seem like they're classically trained in England, so they take on a fake accent to act extra douchey.
And I got a question for you, PB, and let's see if you know the answer to this. Do you
Oh,
know
shit.
where he was born?
No, I have no idea where he was born, but I would guess that he was born in Miami.
Kentucky.
Oh, I feel like I
Kentucky.
wasn't that far away.
He's from the town of Owensboro. He was born in 1963 in Owensboro, Kentucky.
So how
So
big of a town is that?
Yeah, and do you know what his first movie was?
I have no clue.
Well, I'm teaching you. I like teaching you. I never knew this stuff. I never knew I'd be researching Johnny Depp. His first movie was Elm Street, Freddy Krueger.
Oh, fuck. I knew that. It was in the memory banks because I love Elm Street. And that's like, what do I want to say? That's trivia about Elm Street.
And what's up, all out of bubblegum? Good to see you back on my channel, buddy. Haven't seen you for a bit.
You say hello to all out of bubblegum, but you don't say hello to Jamie Vick?
I was getting there, Jamie Vick and Gary North. Thank you very much.
And here's another good. Do you know who talked him into becoming an actor?
Ooh.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
How much older is Nicolas Cage than Johnny Depp?
I was just reading what Shelley Tennant was saying and doesn't even realize it. Yeah, I understand that, Shelley, but I'm Irish and I have no Irish accent. So, it's just.
Well, sometimes when you talk, you just got to talk like this and, just.
And you know what's funny?
You got to let the word flow.
Johnny Depp and Nicolas Cage are really good friends, right? And they're both in their careers going through the exact same thing. They spent all their money. Each of them owned like 20 houses all over the world. I mean, they both went through a lot. And a matter of fact, right now, Nicolas Cage owes so much money to the IRS that you see him making those horrible movies that come out on Netflix and stuff.
He's got a brand new series on Netflix, The History of Swear Words.
I know it's amazing. It's amazing. I love that.
I just watched the trailer, and the trailer looked fucking hilarious.
I've learned so many curse words from there. I feel very refined now. And not only
you can't repeat any of them, can you?
No.
Just like you can't say phantasmagorical. Is it really that hard to say phantasmagorical?
Yo.
Jesus Christ.
That was between a yes and a no.
And when Johnny Depp was 11 years old, he used to steal his mother's speed pills and take them. And
holy shit.
Yeah, that's when he got into drugs. And he even talked about that. And by 14, he was smoking cigarettes. So, that's why he's starting to look kind of hard because of the cigarette smoking and stuff like that. It's a shame because when you think about really intensely great, do you have a mute button?
He did. He muted himself.
When you think about like great actors, I mean, when I say great actors, I mean actors that are so good, but they all have these issues. See, Johnny Depp was not only an actor, he was also a singer. So a lot of his life is like a lot of the singers. I don't know if you remember Phoenix Rivers' brother.
Yep.
His brother was like Johnny Depp. His brother was becoming a big star like Johnny Depp, and he died outside a club of a heroin overdose. So, when you think about it, people that are very talented usually do crazy stuff, and he acts more like a rocker than he does a movie star. and the things that he seemed like breaking up motel rooms and stuff like that.
Eliza Winter had a great point. Said, I tried my first cigarette and vodka at 11. Those were different times. And I think, Dad, or Father Zod, sorry. I think that you come from back in those days. Can you attest, like, the culture was different? Like, what you were doing, the different things that were going on. I mean, it wasn't the same kind of culture we're in now.
Actually, I grew up in the exact same culture as Johnny Depp, same age. So what he's talking about a lot is what me and my friends did. You know, when first time I smoked marijuana, I was 14 years old. You know, I remember I was hitchhiking with my friends. We were in the backwoods, and this hitchhiker came and picked us up, and he goes, "Hey guys, you want to try this?" And we'd never tried any type of marijuana ever. Then he drove us a couple miles. We got out. I remember to this day, it's the best feeling I ever had from marijuana. See, when you get high the first time from marijuana, that really good high, you try to get it again, and you never can. You know, it's very hard. And not that I'm trying right now.
Don't tell me about my drug experiences.
What? Here in the Fandom Zone, PSA, we do not encourage any drug use. However, if you do use recreationally,
whoa. We do not discourage any drug use.
Oh my God. You know what? The algorithm, I'm going to get ready to go, and the algorithm's going to be like, yeah, you're going to have to remove this here, this here.
I believe in freedom. And there are a bunch of people watching who live in states that have particularly legal drugs, that live in countries that have particularly legal drugs. We have a wide array of audience members. I'm not using the fucking I word.
So what do you think? What do you think? I asked PB. So I don't know if you were muted when I said this. Johnny Depp really started off as a rocker, and he's a pretty good musician, and that's how he started off before he really became an actor. So would you say that most really talented people live twisted and weird lives?
I mean, obviously, looking at the numbers, for sure. Yeah. The most talented people are usually the most, oh my gosh, the woman's listening to a Taylor Swift song and now it's in my head, troubled. Like you look at somebody like Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember name 5 comedians that are better than Robin Williams.
No, it's very hard to do. I mean, I would say the best comedian that I ever seen on stage before he went kind of crazy was Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was so funny. I watched him in concert. Him and George Carlin are probably Jim Carrey had a concert one time. It lasted over an hour and a half and never swore one time. And he was impressive. And he could do things with his body. He's very with his arms and stuff. And you remember when he was on In Living Color? He made that show. You know, he made that show.
Fireman Bill.
Remember he played the steroid weightlifter, and he put and he put on the brief, the bikini, and the hair would be sticking out of his crotch, and you could see, you know, and he put the bra on and it'd be flat. And then he'd have muscles, and he was playing a steroid athlete from Russia. And he had little pigtails in his hair. I mean, it's one of the funniest scenes ever. I mean, he used to play that character to a T. I would say Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, Dice. I mean, if you're thinking about really funny people, I'd put them, and of course, George Carlin, you know. George Carlin's George Carlin, but now Bill Burr. Bill Burr is the hottest thing going right now.
Bill Burr is so hilarious. Oh my! I was watching his comedy the other day, and I was just laughing when he was. And I was talking to Bitchy about it, and we were talking about something that I didn't want to talk about it. And I go, I'm just going to put it in the feelings jar, close that motherfucker tight, and put it on the middle shelf. And she started laughing because she watched the comedy with me. But like, yeah, like that was some of the truest comedy I've heard. And the way he talks about the culture now, it was hilarious. Like, my goodness. That would be a guy that would be trying to dig stuff up on.
And I want to, Lee, there's going to be something else I'm going to give you I want to pull up on Joe Rogan. So this happened. This is what people think of. Give me 1 minute.
Well, Geekicidal Tendencies says, no funny women, Papa Lee?
No what?
No funny women?
You know what? Great point. Joan Rivers was right there with everybody. I mean, yeah.
No, I mean, what's the unfortunate thing with Joan Rivers is that she, at least with my generation, is more well known for the lady that gets plastic surgery than for being a comedian.
Yeah, and people don't realize that she was one of the greatest comedians.
She's
ever.
great. She's great.
I mean, I remember the time she was going into a building and someone asked, and she goes that, don't pull that one up, Lee. She said that Michelle Obama was a man, and she got in trouble for it. I mean, she just said it. And then she was like, "I'm only kidding. God, can't you guys take a joke?" You know, because at that time that was the big thing. And,
here we go. Leah Remini, Betty White, Carol Burnett. That's a list.
I don't know.
I mean,
if you could
is
pull that
Carol
up,
Burnett considered a stand-up comedian?
Yeah, because if we're talking in the vein of stand-up, she's more sketch comedy than stand-up.
Right.
Joe Rogan experience. Did you time or you?
I stopped for 7 years. Yeah.
What?
That was.
Can you hear that?
He was way more popular than me. Like, especially as a comic.
Listen to this.
The Comedy Store took his side, and I was like, "All right, fuck
That's
you
right.
guys," and I took off. It wasn't really the Comedy Store either. It was this one guy who was the manager. Because Mitzi, actually, I called Mitzi and gave her the whole rundown of what was going on. I told her, and she's like, "Why don't you just stay away from him?" And then she gave me a spot that night. And then they called me up 2 hours later to tell me that I was banned. So I said, "Wait a minute. I just talked to Mitzi. Like, she gave me a spot. She told me when to go up. So if she's not running the store, like, who's deciding I'm banned? You are? Like, what are you doing?" Like, do you guys understand what this is? I mean, this is like you're having a little battle for like whether or not you're going to let people.
That was the wrong video. I'm trying to find it. Sorry, guys.
So that's where Zod gets his professionalism from.
Well, you know, I'm trying to pull up.
Oh my God, that's like one of the podcasts I was listening to. I don't know. It was conservative talk. That's not the point. He wanted them to play one of the cuts, and the person in the booth or whatever, you know, the producer, he's playing the cut. I think it was Glenn Beck, and he's like, "No, not that one." He's like, "It's 12 seconds." And he starts playing it again. He's like, "No, not that one." He's like, "I want you to play the one of this chick saying this thing." And the guy's like, "I don't know what you want from me." And he played it again. He's like, "No, not that one." He's like, "No, okay, I'm playing it one more time." And then Glenn goes, "Oh, I didn't realize that there was that extra line of someone else talking at the beginning. I'm sorry."
Okay. This is a clip. There was Mencia was this comedian. He was the hottest comedian going. And all the guys at the Comedy Store at that time went to Joe Rogan and said, "This guy keeps stealing all our shit." So the place was sold out. I just want you to watch what type of person Joe Rogan is.
about something in the news. It's about something in the news. It's about something in the news. Why can't a Jewish guy come up with something about something in the news?
It's not your forte. Why would it matter to you? Why the fuck would it matter? Why would it matter to you? Why would it matter to you? No, that's just showing to you that your interest in me is fucking retarded. For my friends. Bullshit. Let me tell you. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Bullshit. That's bullshit.
Doing Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee's his friend. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. That's Ned Holness. Oh, Ned. I know Ned. Ned Holness. Yeah, he's really good. Hey, does all that stuff. That's good. Hey. I do all that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ned. Do a couple minutes of his material. Well, I'll just do some of my material and then it'll
Do well with my shit. My shit. It's been my shit. You, by the way, George Lopez and grab you by your fucking neck and slam you up against the left back of the wall, rip off your shit. You ain't feel special? Yeah. Yes, you did. But you know what? Because you're a fucking player, bro. That's not why. You didn't do this. You know what? Lopez said me. Give me a hug. What's up? You want me to tell you what George Lopez did? Yeah, you screw your face off and he shot me. Give me a hug. I'll tell you what George Lopez did. What did you reckon? White people. George Lopez actually said on Howard Stern that he doesn't want any other Hispanic comedian to make it except for him. Yeah, maybe because he's like everybody else. They're jealous because you fat fuck. Yes, you are. It's not gonna be a guy who steals material. I am inspired by other comics. When I saw Dave Chappelle perform it, I went home. I'm like, God damn, hold on. Right, that the fuck was genius. It was brilliant. I see you and I go, just because you did another joke the other day. I see you did a joke about licking a fucking asshole. It's like licking a battery. I saw a guy do it in Vegas. I go, well, that's where he got it from. The Reverend Bob Levy from the Howard Stern Show. I've never even heard that fucking guy. You went from risky material and then punching material. You don't have anything about the subject, so you take other shit. You know what? Over and over again. I don't want to attack. That's not true. You're a great thriller who likes people's shit. That's Ned Holness. Oh, Ned. I know Ned Holness. Yeah, he's really good. Your name? Not when you come to me, not Ned.
Well, basically, I'm not going to show any more of this. But what I'm trying to say is, this guy Mencia at the time was the #1 comedian in the world. He was about to become a big star, but he was out stealing everybody's stuff and using it. And Joe Rogan confronted him on stage that night and destroyed his career. Joe Rogan got fired too and destroyed his own career. Joe Rogan came back. Now Joe Rogan's famous for that, for what he did by sticking up to this guy. And the audience was full that night. He went out there and confronted him. He said, you're stealing all my friend's stuff. George Lopez, he stole all of George Lopez. So you notice you never hear about this comic anymore? Nobody will hire him. Nobody. Joe Rogan destroyed him that night. That's what type of person Joe Rogan is. And,
Well, yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about mutually assured destruction.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and to come out like that, and he got fired for doing this. Joe Rogan got fired for attacking that guy on stage. They both got fired. And and at that moment, Joe Rogan was unemployed. And then he landed, I don't know if you remember that show where they ate the bugs and stuff. What was the name of that show?
Fear Factor.
Fear Factor.
Yeah, he was the host of that. But he was always a martial artist and, a very good martial artist. And so Mencia, do you think this guy's going to go after Joe Rogan? Physically, he was a bully, but he knew that's why they sent Joe Rogan up there, because they knew Joe Rogan was a badass. And, Joe Rogan, there was nothing they could do about it. Okay, you want to take it up from here, Lee?
So basically, this all swings back around to the fact that by showing this and bringing it all together, is the fact that Joe Rogan predicted what was going to happen 4 years before this all went down with Amber Heard. And he's the kind of guy who doesn't look at just one argument and one side. He likes to look at it from both sides. And the fact that 4 years ago, he called this whole entire thing is quite eerie. The questions that I still have, and the things we'll probably never know, is who behind the scenes knew this was coming. If this was something that someone in an outside circle could predict 4 years ago, it really speaks to the way the culture is right now, that nobody who was privy to this information would have came out and given warnings and been like, oh, Amber Heard is a liar. Don't believe the stuff you're going to hear. No, they all sat back and said absolutely nothing. And that's the thing that really boggles my mind, is you see who your friends are, when I'm sure people who were close at the time could have said something, but they didn't. It just unfolded the way that it did. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that?
It's because of the Me Too movement. People are scared. They don't want their careers destroyed. And
I mean, it sounds like anyone that was close enough to either Johnny Depp or Doug Stanhope knew exactly how it was going to play out. It's not like you had to be 6 degrees away of Kevin Bacon to know what was going on. You only had to be 2 or 3 degrees away. So I would bet that there was a fair number of people that knew exactly how it was going to play out.
And you know what? A lot of those people didn't come and defend him because they're scared of the Me Too movement. They know that their careers can be destroyed just like that. And so you can't really blame them. That's the bad part. The actors that defended him were the ones that were so powerful that the Me Too movement can't take them down. And a guy like, what's that? Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke. Now, Mickey Rourke came out and defended him right away. Mickey Rourke, though, is known as, he's like Joe Rogan. He don't give a shit. They destroyed his career. And then he had to come back.
They tried to actually several times. Yes. He's made a comeback a couple different times.
Yes. And you know why? Because he doesn't give a shit. He was going out with this chick named Otis Carey. She was a big-time model. And at that time, he was at the Nicolas Cage. He was at the top of the world. He was a big-time actor. He just made 9.5 weeks. So one day, him and this girl has a fight in New York City, right? And up by their apartment. Are you listening to me, Lee? Hello. Okay.
Of course he's not.
I got all that stuff.
Come back to the show. Okay. So he was arguing with this Carrie Otis, and she was a model, very famous model at that time. And he was also a boxer. And the police came to arrest him, and he beat up like 5 or 6 cops and got arrested. And she left him, and he went nuts. And he disappeared from Hollywood for 10 years. Mickey Rourke. Everybody wondered why Mickey Rourke disappeared. That's why he disappeared. He went nuts. Something like,
Yeah. And here's the thing. This kind of behavior, folks, this kind of stuff is now being, it's being perpetuated. It's being sensualized by the media. And that's why it's so important. That's why all of these little tales and everything, they kind of all weave together, because this isn't anything new. And that's why it's really important to bring this stuff out to light, because it's been fostering and building this kind of culture where people don't even want to defend themselves. And here's the thing, man or woman should be able to defend themselves and should have a case. The bad part about this is it could take the inverse and looks bad for women. It could look bad for men. I mean,
Lee, I just don't want this to, can you bring back, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. There's somebody here Jamel Martinsky. She wrote, "The thing is, when you are right and you speak the truth, you will always come back. The rest of the world just needs time to catch up." That's a really good point. But unfortunately, in just what's everything going on now, the world's not willing to catch up, and Johnny Depp.
No, the world's full of fucking mustard.
Yeah. It most certainly is. It most certainly is. And folks, that's why it's important to get your voices out there. That's why it's important to follow these things and get knowledge. Because look, the media is only going to cover what they don't have to do leg work for. You guys saw that in my last video. Anything they don't have to go out of their safe little homes, because not that they did.
Can you put up a live?
I thought you were going to say that's why it's important to and then plug your merch.
Lee, can you put up Eliza Woods, please?
Eliza Winter?
Winter, yes, I'm sorry. She says they were in the movie Wild Orchid movie together, Mickey Rourke and this woman Otis. So she knows exactly what she's talking about. And that's where they met, I believe, or they did the movie together. But because Geekle Seidel said Mickey Rourke needed a lot of tissues after he broke up with Otis. Yeah, I mean, everybody knew. I mean, it got kind of sad that he kind of acted the way he did. He said, "Oh, you're breaking up with me? I'm going to beat the shit out of 5 cops." I remember when that happened. The cops said,
"Picks a fucking number."
Yeah, but you know what it is, though. I remember when this happened. The cops said the only reason that we didn't shoot him is because we knew he was Mickey Rourke.
Well, can you imagine be like, "Oh man, he's beating up those cops," and be like, "Don't worry about it. We're gonna send over 6. He said he was only gonna beat up 5."
Anyways, I'm gonna start to wind stuff down. Thank you everybody who was watching. We have a lot of people. We got up to 50, so thank you everybody for support. Appreciate it. Go check out my website. There's gonna be some stuff added onto there. It's General Zod's fandomzone.com. Also the Teespring store.
No, it's not. It's General Zod's Fandom Zone.
No, it's Mr. Zod's Fandom Zone.
I'm sorry. I'm going through a transition right now, guys. Give me a break.
Oh my God! Transitioning.
When you get demonetized, when you get above 1,000 because you made that mistake, then it's not going to be so funny.
Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Also check out the links.
Lee, hold up. We're not done yet. What are you, in a rush? You got to do one more thing. I'm going to give you one more thing, Lee, and then we'll get out of here. This is going to be real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. What's this one thing?
One second. Okay.
One more thing. That's a segment on the 5. We can't be stealing that. That's going to be copyright infringement.
Okay, Lee. Okay, Lee, you could pull up what I put there.
Okay, let's see. Oh, what's this?
Oh, God.
Who's that handsome devil in the corner there?
Okay, well, I just want to show. This is like some of the stuff we're working on right now. Did you?
100%.
Yes, and that's the coffee. That's the Zod T-shirt, and the Zod says
jock strap.
Yeah, the jock strap. Okay, this is the Johnny Justice T-shirt, and it says "Justice for JD" on the back. That's just a few things I wanted to show you. There's many more things, but and do you see those?
Yeah, I see them. By the way, if you guys don't know, that awesome drawing that's in the front of the T-shirts was rendered by Miss Bitchy Unicorn. So much shout out there. And Unicorn says hi. She went downstairs, which is will be joined soon.
Okay, well, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show that, and we got more designs in there that we're just working on. We're having fun actually because Lee's got. Yeah, I am. Jamel, you're absolutely right. I am, despite his many flaws, and I'm telling you, I need a calculator to figure out his flaws. an algebra calculator. But he's a good kid and he's doing good with this show. And I admit I'm actually very proud of him. And I'm glad. And PB, what I like about PB is PB keeps him under control. Would you say
somebody's got to?
Yeah, they make a good combo, and I told Lee that once his show gets bigger and bigger, make sure that he takes care of his friend.
Oh yeah, gonna ship those dogs right off to Vietnam.
I mean, that sounds dangerous. Like you said, take care of his friend. You guys are from New York. That sounds like concrete shoes.
No, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about him. That's not him you have to worry about. Let's just leave it at that, PB.
Okay.
Forget about it.
Hey, you should put Gary North's comment on the screen. That's what's up.
PB is the commander
of the Fandom Zone. I mean, I am number one. Like if you're the captain, I'm the commander, right? Like I can use a Star Trek analogy.
That's how it goes. So I mean,
like you just gotta shave more because I'm a TNG fan. Because I'm not shaving my beard, so I'm gonna be Riker with a beard.
Sorry about that.
But yes, at all curious, with the T-shirt with JD's likeness get copy stricken from Stevie's stream? No, because Stevie Stevie is a very smart Australian brother. Which, by the way, plug for tomorrow. The ever-loving, the awesome Mr. Stevie J Raw will be here to talk with Zod about, you guessed it, some new developments in the Amber Heard sitch. So come and join.
And just so you know, on copyright, you got to be very careful with copyright. And that's one of the good things I liked what Lee's wife, Lee's girlfriend did. She doesn't have to be your wife. She just has to give me a grandson. Okay, so.
Oh.
Okay. And she's one of them girls that says, I ain't having no kids. But how many times I've heard that? Okay.
Okay. I mean, do you need your grandson to have your blood?
Yeah. Well, what kind of blood do I want him to have? Ape blood?
Well, I mean do you not believe in adoption?
No, adoption. What the hell are you talking about? I'm going to adopt you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to adopt you. I'm going to adopt your emoji. How's that? I'm going to walk around with Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, you get Kevin Spacey in the deal. Confirmed tonight. I mean, we saw the picture.
I'll send you a better cutout of my head because that was some lame photoshopping.
Oh, I know. I did that. I did that at the last second. Believe me, I knew it was. That's kind of why
the one was pretty good. The one was pretty good.
Yeah, no.
I like that golfing one. That golfing one, I was like, yeah, I'll go golfing with Kevin Spacey. No problem, man. Fucking A.
I bet you'd like to play with his golf clubs.
So, Magic Mayhem, the time with Stevie, I'll let you guys know over on Twitter. So you guys all follow me there. I will be posting a time because I've got to line up time zones. And lining up with Australia is a tough one, all right.
So how many did we have in the house tonight watching, Lee?
We've had a great and wonderful 50 people watching. So thank you, everybody. We appreciate it.
I need you to put Janie Davis's comment on the screen.
PB is the commander of the Fandom Zone?
Yeah, she said, PB is the commander of the Fandom Zone.
And you know what happens? You ever notice in movies, though, the commanders always die?
Riker never died. What are you talking about? He went on to get his own ship.
I watched The Outpost. I watched that movie, The Outpost, today, and the first 3 commanders died.
That's a light.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Did you see that movie, The Outpost, with Scott Eastwood on Netflix? PB?
No, I didn't. The last
really
movie
good.
that I saw with Scott Eastwood is the one where he's a fucking rodeo guy.
Okay. Well, you got to see the
that
one.
was a good one.
You got to see the one, The Outpost. It's a true story, and it's really it's when they got attacked at a fort, and that was in the middle of Afghanistan, and they were surrounded. 300 Taliban attacked them. You have to watch it. It's a phenomenal movie. Okay.
What are Janie's emojis? Because they're not showing on my keyboard. I need you to put them on the screen. It's just, they don't show up? What is that shit?
You want to taste it?
What are they supposed to be?
I'll have the whole thing.
Fine.
Okay. Lee, you got a voice talking behind you. You got your boss is talking to you.
Yeah, in case you guys don't know, in case there's any illusions, Zod used to run the Fandom Zone. Now Zod is the figurehead, and Bitchy actually runs the Phantom Zone.
Actually, here, have this one because you can taste the alcohol more.
Okay. Anyway, so on that note, guys, I gotta get going because I'm going to watch a terrible movie whilst we drink. You guys voted, and Father Zod, we're watching Shark Exorcist and doing a review tomorrow.
Hell. When are you going to do one on? Yeah, I'm going to ask you one. I want you and her to do one on Howard the Duck.
Oh, I've got to have her see that. That's like, I love that movie. She's not going to. She already sighed. She went.
Oh, she's seen
it. So, guys, also don't miss it because we're probably going to bring you a review that night of Shark Exorcist. We're going to watch it now. Buzz, I can't guarantee we're going to remember much, so we might have to rewatch it.
That girl's turning you into an alcoholic.
Turning me into?
He turned into an alcoholic when he moved to my state.
Yeah, it was PB's fault. He came over with Kevin Spacey one night with drinks, and it was a downward spiral from there.
And PB, I seen that video that you did when you were driving down the road. It was kind of it was pretty. I thought it was very funny, actually. especially when you leveled off your this is my I'm getting angry voice. That was pretty cool.
Well, I had to test the volume just to check it out.
You should do more like that.
Oh, and just so you guys know, if you guys are wonderful like Shalena and you give us suggestions, we will. I'm going to have Bitchy for the first time ever watch Batman and Robin as well. And that'll be our next Just Bitching review. And you guys know that was the best Batman ever made. What? Yeah, you always have a choice.
Well, according to PB, you and her can watch The Godfather. Okay.
No, you don't want to get bored.
Anybody that gets bored from The Godfather has a lot of issues.
Oh my God, no, we're not going down that rabbit hole again. That was a whole half hour. I'm cutting this off now. I want to start drinking. Okay, everybody, much love. Have a great night. Thank you.
And PB, do some driving videos. I'm telling you, man. If you do that like one a week or something at nighttime, like maybe especially in Wisconsin, because the odds are you'll probably hit a deer. And if you're,
God, I hope not.
Oh God, I did that back there, man. I had $5,000 worth of damage in Wisconsin from a deer. Those things, and they're big. Wisconsin got some big ass deer.
I know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and Gary North says, make sure you make a video where you hit a bear. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Like today.
Wow, you paraphrased the hell out of that comment.
I did.
You could do it. You could do another beer story. I was driving on the street and a beer came through my window and hit me in the head, something like that. And then
the story that I really need to do is having my dad do the story of the P Little Thrigs.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
It is.
All right. So tune in next time. See you guys tomorrow. I will tweet out when the great and amazing Stevie J will be here. And of course, me and Bitchy will be here tomorrow night just bitching about Shark Exorcist. Don't miss that.
I don't want to hit bears, Janie. I don't.
I'm sure it'd be great. And if you guys want to watch along with us, Shark Exorcist is on YouTube for free. Like, you can find someone who clipped the whole movie. So everybody watch it, because when we do this review, it'll probably be amazing. And oh boy, I can't wait for this. So we're gonna go and get plastered and get ready for this. You guys all have a fabulous night. Go check out PopCulturePb's channel. And as always, remember the only rule here in the Fandom Zone: kneel before Baby Grogu.
No.